Space Whispers. I am an ignorant person, ignorance at its finest. My parents and grandparents have always scolded me, telling me not to whistle at night. But what do they know? They're just a bunch of old people. They don't have the knowledge that a young and energetic mind such as mine would have. Yeah, that's what I thought, until one night, as I was with my friends, I was met with a scary encounter. We were hanging out at Lainey's place in her backyard over a bonfire, chit-chatting and joking around as usual. Cam told us about his encounter with a pretty lady he saw a week ago. He said he didn't have the courage to approach and talk to her, so instead, he whistled at her. Then he proceeded to show us how he whistled like. Everyone began laughing when Jen interrupted. "Hey, you're not supposed to whistle at night, dude." Kaden asked. "Why not? It's just whistling." I rolled my eyes and retorted, "Because in our Asian culture, our elders have always told us not to whistle at night. Something about it being bad luck or whatever. Just some fake made-up stuff to scare us into behaving." With a serious look, Jen responded, "No, it's real, Hannah." "No, it's not, Jen. I can prove it. Watch," I replied while snickering. I stood up and walked 10 feet away from my friends and started to whistle. When nothing happened, I shrugged my shoulders, looked at them, and laughed. "See? Nothing." My friends all looked at me and laughed along with me, except Jen. I whistled again just to prove to Jen that nothing would happen. After whistling again, I shrugged my shoulders again, and we all burst out laughing again. Suddenly, everything around us fell silent. Absolute silence. I walked over to my friends and sat in my chair by the bonfire. We all looked at each other, not saying anything, as silence still filled the air. We then all heard a woman crying. Her cries seemed distant. Kaden sat upright, leaned forward, and whispered, "Do you guys hear that?" All of us nodded yes in agreement. The crying grew louder and louder as it seemingly got closer to us. Then it stopped. Lainey broke the tension and tried to reassure us. "I'm sure it's just a couple arguing and the girl ran away." Jin rubbed his face in frustration and whispered angrily, "No, I told you guys not to whistle at night. This is what happened when you do." "What? A woman cries when we whistle at night?" I snickered. "That's fuh." Before I could even finish what I was saying, all my friends ran away from me. They stood at a distance, staring at me with wild eyes in horror. I stood up and exclaimed, "What? What are you guys doing?" Lainey trembled as she pointed at me, muttering, "There's someone behind you." An immediate fear trickled down my spine as goosebumps filled my body. I slowly turned my head to look behind me. A woman suddenly appeared, cocked her head, and plopped right onto my shoulder, whistling into my ear. Her eyes were bloodshot red. Her mouth was slit wide open. She had no nose, and her hair was long, black, and disheveled. I screamed and ran into Lainey's house, followed by my friends. Yeah, I was ignorant, but not anymore. I have now learned my lesson. However, what exactly was that? Who was that woman? What ties does this weeping woman have to whistling? What is she?